Hey everybody, Multi-Classic Gamer here. Welcome to another vlog. It's been a couple days. I apologize about that. It's been just kind of... I've been working late at work, and like when I get home, sometimes I'm just too tired to make videos or something like that. But anyways, it's just after midnight, and today is December 12th, 2020, Saturday. And we actually had our first major snowfall this season today, yesterday. But yeah, it's still currently snowing outside, and I'll probably show you at the end of this vlog. But I want to get a quick collection video done real quick, and then we'll have all this other vlogging stuff at the end of the video. But yeah, I just want to get the collecting stuff out of the way first. So we're doing a short one today, but actually a pretty interesting one. This is the oldest video game console I have that will get its own video, basically. Because there is an older one, but it's going to be in, like, at the end of this series, I'm going to have, like, a miscellaneous video. Because there are certain collections I have where I don't have the console, or I only have, or there's, like, the dedicated consoles where they have, like, just the built-in games, like the NES Classic, or the, yeah, there's in the other console I'm referring to. But, yeah, I just want to do this one. There's also ones where, yeah, there might be even one for like to show like the Game Boy collection or something like that. I don't know. Either way, this is the oldest console that's going to get its own video, and this is the Intellivision. Yeah, the Mattel Electronics Intellivision, released in 1980. It's a very old console, and it's so I'm pretty sure like a majority of my viewers probably never even heard of this console, but yeah, it's a very old system. It's like a second generation console actually. And one of the cool things about it is that the controllers are hardwired into the console, so you can't unplug them. And they're like phones, basically. There's like this dial that you spin. You can also push it to, and that's a button of its own. But also, yeah, it's got a numeric keypad too on each controller. Oh god, I'm using this new. I'm also using a new mount, a dash mount, basically. It's supposed to be a dash mount, but I'm using it I'm testing it out basically on my desk, but it keeps on falling over because you gotta maintain the suction cup basically, or else it gets dirty and it falls over easily. Even with something as light as my... Oh yeah, also, not only that, but I'm also using a new... It's not... Well, yeah, a new iPod. Like, I got an iPod Touch recently, and this is what I'm using to record this vlog, so that's why the quality is slightly different. Hopefully it's not worse, or much worse than... I know it's not going to be as good as my phone, obviously, but still, it should be decent enough. But yeah, you got the two controllers that are like phones, they're hardwired into the console. It's kind of weird, like, trying to... Like, it's really cool that they have, like, a tray in the console itself for the controllers, but you gotta really, like, kind of stuff the cords, like, into the, like, not stuff, necessarily, but yeah, you gotta fit them into the... There's, like, a little grating in the center where they fit into, so it's kind of... It's a little weird, but yeah, and the cartridges, like, this is a cartridge-based console, obviously, they go on the side of the system. Yeah, it's just so cool. And it connects through RF, but obviously modern-day TVs don't have RF connections. You have to, dang, how many times is this thing gonna try to fall over during the video? It's kind of annoying. But yeah, like, it's got a RF connection, and I have to use, like, a coaxial adapter in order to plug into my modern TV, so it still works. Like, I've actually played a couple times with I've tested all my games I currently have on it, on my modern day TV, like this one right here that I use for recording Let's Plays. I've played this on it like several times, and it works perfectly, actually. I mean, sometimes it has trouble reading the games, but that's the games themselves, basically, because they're so old. But yeah, and not only that, but also the AC adapter is also hardwired into the console, so like the cord, you can't unplug it from the console unless you actually dig into the console itself, like open it up, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, RF connection, adapted to coaxial, but otherwise, yeah, it connects perfectly fine to modern day TVs. But yeah, there's also, I forgot to mention the buttons on the sides too, like there's two buttons on each side of the controllers too, so in total you got like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 buttons on each controller. Like, it's nuts. But to compensate for that, to make them less, confusing, I guess, for the games is that some of them come with, most of them come with overlays that you put over the numeric keypad, which shows actually what each button does. Essentially, it's really fascinating, basically. I'm gonna say the first game for last, actually, because there's something that goes with it. But first of all, we have Tron Deadly Disc. This is the only, other than the other one I'm saying for the end, this is the only game I have that doesn't have the box actually. But this is Tron Deadly Discs. It's based off the Disney movie Tron, like from the early 1980s. So, yeah, it's interesting. We got an actual licensed game here, 1982 Disney. So, and the cartridges are very they have very interesting shape too. But yeah, that's one of them. Very, very weird. Except we have Donkey Kong. I mean, that's obviously with it being Donkey Kong, I gotta own it on every single platform it's released on. Well, besides the gaming PCs, but still, it's very interesting to play on something other than the NES or arcade version. And so it's obviously it's a lot more primitive than the NES, but it's still Donkey Kong. You know, it's still fun to play. So, but that's a rough picture of what it looks like, basically. But it looks even worse than that. Trust me. But nevertheless, it does play like the arcade game, so it just looks kind of weird. I guess I should open up real quick and show you the actual cartridge, because it actually looks different. Interesting enough, it actually says Coleco on it. Like you'd think it would be for the ColecoVision, which is another console that came out around the same time as the Intellivision to compete with the Atari 2600. But no, this is actually an Intellivision cartridge. It just looks different, but yeah, it goes into the system all right. But yeah, it was like I think it was licensed by Coleco or something like that. Nintendo allowed them to license it or something. It's kind of weird. It's a whole very, very interesting story. You know, the Donkey Kong games on the old systems, because we think it's weird enough that's on a non-Nintendo system. But yeah, it's just there's a lot to it basically. Next up, we have Frogger. You'll notice the ones I have are the most well-known ones basically. And believe it or not, these games are actually pretty cheap. Like, even with the box, you can find these for like $5. Like, they're not that expensive, like, even with the box. But yeah, we got Frogger, got the instruction booklet, and once again, we have the cartridge looking a little different than the other ones, but it's in very good shape, though, after all this time, though. So it's very cool. This is 1982. Either way, that's Frogger. I could have swore it was one of the games that came with an overlays, but I'm pretty sure Pitfall does. So yeah, it's Pitfall right here. This game is more well known on the Atari 2600, but nevertheless, it's still a fantastic game, and this is a decent way to play, I suppose. Oh, this one does come with the overlay. So this is an overlay for one of the controllers. So basically, you insert it into the controller, and that tells you what each button does, what the numeric pad numbers does. It's kind of like where, see, it goes in through the top, obviously. So I'll show you one of the controllers with the overlay in it. If I can get it out of the thing now. So yeah, that's what it looks like with the overlay for Pitfall. So now you know what all the buttons do, basically. They tell you how to move Harry, so it says. But once again, the cartridge is in excellent shape for its age. And there it is. So really cool stuff. I doubt any of my viewers are going to be like interested in this. Well, I'm sure there's some of you out there maybe like the really vintage stuff, but yeah. So that's Pitfall. We got a couple. Well, actually, yeah, just 2 more games to go here. This one right here is Sea Battle. Sea Battle is actually a game owned by a friend, or Corsair Joe. His parents actually own this game, and they decided to give it to me after they learned that it had Intellivision, because I guess they didn't have any more. They used to have one growing up, but once again, a very, very, very well-kept cartridge. And basically, Sea Battle is actually a 2-player game. I think it's only 2 players, but this is another one of the game came with the overlays, but it's not surprising it's in really good shape, because it came from people who, you know, kind of close to, actually. But yeah, basically, I guess, I don't know much about it. I haven't played it myself, but obviously it's like I'm pretty sure the name of the game pretty much gives out what it's about, basically. So, next up, before I give out the last game that I have, or more like the first one, if going by alphabetical order, we have the IntelliVoice voice synthesis module. Try saying that 3 times fast. This is an expansion or an add-on of sorts to the Intellivision, and you insert it into the cartridge slots, and then you insert the games that are made for it into the cartridge slot on this thing. So like this side goes inside the console, and then in here would be where the games go that are compatible with it. And the one game I have that is compatible with it is Bomb Squad. We all know about this one from AVGN. But despite the really excellent condition this is in, like this is so well kept despite its age. Like it just looks really good for its age. Despite how well kept this thing is, it doesn't work at all. Like, I seriously cannot get my games to play at all, like, whenever I have this thing inserted into the console, so... And I'm not sure why, because, like, it's as clean and as sleek as ever. Like, it's spotless, basically, and it just doesn't play for whatever reason. So, I don't know why it doesn't work. It's very disappointing, too. You can still play the games that aren't, that are made for this, like, without it. But it doesn't have the voice, basically. But it'll still play the games. But, yeah, for whatever reason, the thing itself doesn't work. So it's very unfortunate. But, yeah, I got the box and the instruction booklet to go with it. So, either way. So that's basically my entire Intellivision collection. I've only got 6 games, I think. Yeah, 6 games for it. So, not a very impressive collection, but it's not... it's a very old console... The games are extremely primitive. I don't see myself, like, ever... I don't know, maybe, like, somewhere in the distant future I might do Let's Plays on this just for the hell of it, but, like, I don't see any of these games being any more than a single video. It's, like, micro Let's Plays, if at best. But that's, like, even if I'm, like, able to ever learn how to... or figure out how to record these things. Because, again, I can only adapt it to coaxial, so, like, would you convert... it from RF to coaxial and then convert the coaxial from RCA. I mean, that's probably one way to do it, but I think the only other way to do it would be to connect it to a VCR and have like the VCR record it. It's very complicated, but it is possible. We saw on AVGN, obviously. But, yeah, part of the only reason I have Tron Deadly Discs is because of AVGN's review. But yeah, he did a review of both like a double review of the Intellivision and the ColecoVision. So eventually I do like to get a ColecoVision, and I do actually have a ColecoVision game, which will be included in the miscellaneous video at the end here. But yeah, that's basically Intellivision. So I guess let's go take a peek outside real quick for the snow. Okay, well, I'm guessing the file size won't be as large as they have been for my previous vlogs, but with this being on iPod Touch versus a Samsung Galaxy Note 9, which is what my phone is. But yeah, there it is, the snow. Your December snow. It's so nice to finally see the snow. It's weird, because, like, I remember coming out of winter, like, being so glad it was over. I'm pretty sure I will be the same, like, once this winter's over. But for now, when it's so early in the winter, there's actually a certain novelty to seeing the snow outside. So it makes it easier to appreciate, basically. But, yeah, it's very nice to see. Hope there's not a lot. Oh god, there's probably a reflection on the camera there. It's not good because I'm still using the face cam basically because of the fact that I was using it for the previous part of this vlog. Hey, it's a cat. There's a cat in this apartment. Did you know that? Because I haven't pointed that out enough times. Okay, you probably can't see him much because it's so dark in here. But yeah, as you can see, it's 1:11 in the morning. 1 hour into the current day that you are hopefully watching this. Unfortunately, this won't always be the case. Like, at a certain point, I'm going to start having opening shifts at work, unfortunately. I really hate the fact that they're always constantly changing my shifts. Like, they're changing me from nights or afternoons to mornings to afternoons to mornings. Like, they keep on changing it, and I hate that so much. I'd rather just have a consistent schedule of either all opening shifts or all closing shifts. It'd be so much nicer if that was the case, but unfortunately it isn't, so... This is what I get to deal with. But, yeah, there's that freaking mount I was trying to use, and the suction cup kept on failing. because you have to keep it clean, I guess. But it's so ridiculous. Like, I'm not even gonna bother trusting that thing right now because I'm just not happy with it at the moment, not at all. So what's up? So yeah, I got to drive in the snow on the way home from work actually, and it wasn't too bad actually. I still have snow tires on from last year, so that's probably why. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. But either way, what's up? It's currently, yeah, today's obviously Saturday, so I'm sure most of you are probably hanging out at home, but otherwise I'm going to be at work myself. Oh yeah, actually we had a shipment of Xbox Series X's today. We had 5 boxes. I remember around 4 o'clock no, actually it was around 5 o'clock, my team lead was telling me that we had 4 boxes and we didn't have the 5th one yet, and then once we got the 5th one I could check with the manager and once they're okay with it, bring the consoles out to sell them. And that was the most enjoyable part of the day for me, was selling the video game consoles, because I got to make people's days basically while also doing something that I actually care about, and that's selling video games. So it was a very wonderful experience. I hope to experience it for quite a while. I probably will, because of the whole shortage of the consoles going on. Yeah, I apologize if the quality isn't that good with this iPod Touch. It's only going to be like for once. I'll probably just go back to my phone after this, but who knows. I might still use this from time to time just as a backup or something, in case I run out of space on my phone. So once again, feel free to suggest whatever video game collection you want to see next. Otherwise, I'll just do a random one next, and I'll probably go back to Nintendo or back to Sony, who knows. But we'll figure it out. Either way, that's pretty much all I have to say for today. That's all I can think of at the moment, obviously. I'm sure I'll think of something as soon as I stop recording, which, as I always say. But either way, I will see you guys in my next vlog, whenever that is. Bye. And this is what it looks like 12 hours later. Yep. Snow got more intense like throughout the night, so can't wait to drive in this to get to work today. So a couple more hours, but still. It's like even snow in my window too. Jeez. Yep, it's definitely winter now, basically.